Hi, guys. This is Ohio nursing home abuse lawyer Will Eadie. I want to talk about a new and I think despicable law that your Ohio legislature recently passed. It affects something called the apology statute. And the idea of the apology statute is that if a doctor or healthcare provider who, is concerned for you, something bad has happened, and they come and say, look, we're sorry, that's okay, that we want to encourage people to do that. And this is a type of law that swept the country a few years ago. Turns out it doesn't help at all. But in any event, there it is. And here's what they did. And this is the part that I think is despicable. They took the law that said, hey, if we express regret or grief or condolences, things like that, that can't be used against us in court. Fine. They added two key words, error or fault. And what that means is that whether it's a doctor, hospital, nursing home staff, if they come to you and say, we're sorry this happened, it's our fault. We did something wrong. We did something we weren't supposed to do. The Ohio legislature says you can't use that in court. You're not allowed to use them admitting that they did it wrong against them when you're trying to prove that they did it wrong. And the only reason you're going to be filing a lawsuit in a medical claim, which is expensive and difficult and time consuming. It's hard to find a lawyer. It's hard to get a good result. It's not something you do lightly. You're only going to do that if the other side is not taking responsibility. So the same people that came to you and said, when your mom fell in her room in the nursing home and broke her hip and died, that's on us. That's our fault. Now, when the insurance company and the defense lawyers are involved, they want to say, no, it's not our fault, and come to court and lie about it. They'll be able to get away with that because you won't be allowed to say, yeah, but they told me it was their fault. They told me these things. And this isn't a coincidence. This isn't an oversight, okay? The apology law has been in existence for quite some time. This is a new insertion of the words in that law, the error or fault. So if they come out and say, it's our fault, we made a mistake, we did it wrong, that's going to be hidden. And if they wrote it down in the medical records, that part of the medical records is going to be hidden from an Ohio jury. So if you have a loved one in a nursing home or a hospital who's injured and they come to you and say, it's all our fault, we're sorry, don't assume that they're going to take responsibility for that, because they have done a great job of going into the Ohio legislature and ensuring that those folks will pass laws that protect them from responsibility for hurting and killing your loved one in Ohio. It's despicable. It ought to be changed. I'm going to follow up, do some research, make sure I know exactly who sponsored this bill, who voted for it, give that information to you so you can express your concerns if you think it is not okay that just because they're healthcare providers, they can run around and say, oh, we did something wrong, it's all our fault, but not have that used against them. Believe me, that wouldn't be the case if it was you being sued for something instead of healthcare provider, hospitals, nursing homes, who can spend a lot of money down at the State House, who can make sure that their interests are protected. And it's not just them, it's also driven by insurance companies who don't want to pay injured people when their loved ones are hurt or killed due to negligence. This is Ohio nursing home abuse lawyer Will Eadie with a little alert about a new law that's coming into effect, and I hope we can all work together and maybe try to get some common sense down there so at least it's fair if someone does something to you. I hope everyone stays happy and healthy, especially those folks in a nursing home. Thank you.